stream's up. I guess. Thanks for the good luck. Let me just change the state folder. I think I'm just gonna spam Posse because I've been getting like insanely bad luck on this fight. Like, this is the only fully deterministic fight in the game, and I fucked it up like 4 times on pace for like a full fortress attempt, which is kind of ridiculous, but is what it is. Well, also I need to fix the stakes. I need to fix the... Basically, I accidentally overwrote my state. That's like the start of this stage. Hi, Ron. Thanks for the good luck. Too. I need to listen to this full album. I think it was just this song that like got on my Discover Weekly like a year and a half ago. Maybe like 2-4 years ago now. And I was like, this is good, and then I just never listened to the full album. Alright, fair enough. This stream was supposed to start way earlier, I just got caught up with a bunch of stuff. Yeah, many such cases. Okay, I got the 5x. I'll warm up with the rest of Wily 5 and then I'll start doing attempts. Gotta change state though. Or like state folder rather. I have a dedicated like warm up state folder now. Yeah, 5x on just that fight. which is the most consistent fight of the game. So it's, like, less insane than it sounds. But I've somehow gone 0 for 4 on it in attempts from Wily 1. So, like, I don't know how. I think it's just a fight where, like, nerves buff it more than most fights. Because it's so deterministic. Like, you can't really get, like, bailed out, so to speak. If you fuck up, you fuck up. But also, when you're in, like, a neutral state, it's the easiest fight not to fuck up on. Like, I've 10x'd that fight before, for reference. Oh, also, I don't think you were here for this, but I found a new strat for the tornado fight that makes it way easier. Like, all of the dive bomb attacks. You can just, like, you don't have to, like, do that, like, a jump and press a direction at the same time thing. You can just, like, walk away from him, and, like, you have enough time to, like, bait him to go closer to the corner when he lands than he would otherwise. Because, like, he's homing for that attack. So you can, like, walk forward a bit, and then walk back again. So that he doesn't actually have that much, like, free room. And if he does a dive bomb again, you can just dodge it like you used to. And be in, like, roughly the same situation. Yeah, strat fighting has been really fun this grind. It's probably going to be more fun later grinds, because I think after this I'm going to swap emulators to one where you can, like, actually see, like, what the RNG value is for practice, if you want to. Like, I'm probably going to swap to FCUX, which actually has tasking capabilities. So that'll probably make strat fighting less annoying, because the most annoying thing about strat fighting bosses is just getting the RNG value to practice the situation you want to practice. Honestly, even just having, like, a rewind feature would also be really good for this. I kind of forgot I had, like, any good kid in the playlist. I think I just found this song from, like, a Magi combo video, honestly. I'm, like, 95% sure that's where I found it. I do, like this more than most good kid I've heard. At least. I don't even think it's that different from, like, what they do normally. It's just this is, like, a very good execution of what they do normally. That actually compels me to, like, listen to it. Hi, Oma. Hello. 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 Warm up going pretty well. I do think once I can, like, fairly consistently do Wily 5 hitless, I think that's, like, the closest. I think that's what I hit the, that this can happen any day phase. I think I'm already at the point with Wily 6 where I feel like once I'm getting Wily 6 attempts, I can, like, get something going in not that much time. Like, I don't know fully how it's gonna be with nerves, but, like... Yeah, this is just from Wily 5 start. My goal is just, like, do Wily 5 at least up to Posse. And then if I no-hit Posse, then I'll, like, continue it to Wily 6. Like, I just want to make sure I can do Wily 5 more than anything. Guy who makes a song called Daft Punk is playing at my house is playing at my house. Is this anything? I still need to listen to LCD Sound System himself. I forget if I've talked about this on stream, but like my go-to approach for these like final live album of their career type things is I like to listen to like a couple of their albums, but I don't want to go through their whole discography so that I can, like, hear some of them for the first time on the live album. Bang! Really good. Have I even gotten hit all session yet? Yeah, after this I'll like start doing it. I kinda don't really care where my first Wily 6 entry gets. I would care a lot more if I didn't have 4 Posse chokes. Oh yeah, also I realized that this strat is basically infinitely retryable, to some extent at least. Which is reassuring. I do think if I were to start the grind now, I would probably try to spam Wily 5 to end more than I have. I think just redoing segments I've already done would be like a much bigger part of my practice regimens if I were to do this now. My goal right now is like just get a 2 segment, and then once the 2 segment happens, I like mostly focus attempts. But I'll still like warm up and stuff with late game. Oh, phase 1 hit. I'll play out the rest of the fight. I've been getting very consistent at late game lately, I just haven't been able to convert as much as I've wanted to. Like, yesterday I had 4, Wily 5 entries from Wily 1, and all of them got to the plug fight, and like 3 of them made it to flame. But 2 of them choked the Posse fight, so I didn't get any Wily 6 entries. Like, Wily 1 to 4 is just not really scary at all for me at this point. Actually, scratch that. Wily 4 is scary, but, like, primarily because of base, but not even because of the full fight anymore. I'm, like, basically only really scared of the fucking orb attack. Okay, hitless phase 3. Nice. And some pretty silly mistakes before that. That's a very good confidence boost. I do hope that, when I swap emulators, it's not going to be more cumbersome to, like, switch save state folders or anything. Because I do like how, like, quick it is to swap folders of states in Dystopia. It's, like, a bit slow at first, but, like, past a certain point, you just kind of, like, are able to get into, like, the flow of it, and you can do it in, like, 10 seconds, maybe. Like, I just hope it's not, like, significantly slower. If it was faster, that would be great, because that would make it, like, way... It would take way less resistance to do efficient practice. Because, like, right now, if I'm, like, messing up a boss fight a lot, I have to, like, hit the options button. I have to go to paths. I have to swap out... I have to go into the folder, the big folder that has all the subfolders with the states. I have to pick out the state folder with the fight that I want. I have to actually select that folder. Then I have to close out of the game that I'm playing on my emulator, and then I have to reopen it for the path change to take effect. I don't think this is, like, a big enough of a thing. It sounds like a lot more than it is. I could do it in, like, 10 now. If you ever see the game, like, completely pause for a second and go silent, that's what's happening. I'm just changing my state folder. Right now I have, like, 15 state folders that I actually use. I was too into talking to actually do the strat. I have a state folder for every individual stage, and then I have a folder that's just dedicated to warm-up. That's just all of the scary Wily fights and the Wily 5. Today, like, a Wily 1 meat grinder kind of day, or I'm, like, just not playing well because I've only been playing Wily 5 and 6 so far. Honestly, I'm surprised I haven't gone crazy from the stages in this game. I think it's just that they're still paced pretty well, even though they're easy. I think the main pacing thing that's kind of made me go, like, a little insane at times is just no slide, or no charge shot. Like, this being a Mega Man 2 hack, it's just inherently got a slower pace than, like, 3 or beyond hacks. besides, like, burst chaser hacks. Or, like, any other hack that, like, implements a slide or a dash into 2 for 1. But, like, it's only that... It's not that mind-numbingly slow, you know? Like, sometimes I wish I could, like, kind of just pick up the pace a bit, but it's not, like... It's not soul-sucking. I think doing Stone's stage first helps a lot with that. Yeah, it's not auto-scrollery. Beyond, like, a couple exceptions, but they're late enough in the run that I don't really care. The most auto-scrollery stage is probably Wily 3, but by the time I'm doing Wily 3, I already care about the attempt to some extent, so I don't really care that it's auto-scrollery. And it's not even, like, extremely auto-scrollery, there's just a couple, like, enemy types where you gotta, like, wait for a safe opportunity. The most auto-scrollery thing in the game is definitely the Purple Devil fight, though. Like, not even a competition. A fight that is only ever hard because you, like, don't want to pay full attention to it because it's an auto-scroller. I think it's longer than the Wily Machine fight, actually. They're definitely, like, comparable length, at least. Well, like, Wily Machine feels like it's over so much quicker. Just because it's actually, like, a stimulating fight. Honestly, there's a part of me that kind of wishes I could do a thought experiment of, like, what if this game swapped Purple Devil and Wily Machine placements? Like, Wily Machine was just chilling in Wily 2, and then final boss was Purple Devil. I feel like that makes the game way harder on, like, both ends. Because now you actually have to be reasonably consistent at Wily Machine, because you still have Wily 5 after that. And Purple Devil has, like, the nerves buff. And Purple Devil is not a hard fight, but it's, like, chokeable, at least. Especially considering the main difficulty of it is just remembering telegraphs from, like, 15 seconds ago. So I can see someone's, like, mind slipping a bit and being like, fuck, I messed it up. Wily Machine is actually a surprisingly good... Wily Machine being last is, like, one of the best places for it to be. Honestly. Fuck. I think it is, like, it might genuinely be the best pick for a final boss out of all the bosses. Just because Phase 3 is hard, but also so consistent once you know what you're doing. Up. Yup. Big money. The 1.2 is $1.2 million in big prizes. Down. What if they made, like, my mob? Honestly, I forget. I do remember giving you mod at one point, like, while you were here. Maybe it was, like, the last stream, actually. Maybe it was the last stream you were here for? It's been, like, a while, though. Actually, I can just check your message history. Okay, yeah, it was the last stream that you actually watched. I think that was the stream we were in VC. I think that was the stream we were in VC. That was a fucking month ago? Jesus. I mean, I'm not complaining, because if time is passing that quickly, then, like, I'm gonna be done school in, like, not that long. Which, like, beast mode. Non-zero chance I would have, like... Honestly, I feel like if I didn't have, like, school looming over me, there's a non-zero chance I would have gotten this by now if I was, like... Because, like, that's part of the reason why I'm, like, taking so many sessions off. Just, like, school making me do stuff for a long time. And then by the time I actually have, like, the time to stream, it's like, fuck, I'm not even gonna be able to stream for, like, 30 minutes if I do this. What's even the point? Type shit. I do hope that like when uni comes, I'll actually be able to. I won't like completely be swamped with work. I mean, one of my goals for uni is to like actually have an IRL circle of friends. And like I don't know what the living situation is gonna mean for streaming, but like I do still want to stream when I'm in uni, ideally. Ideally, like, maintaining actually talking with people. Like, if I can still stream in uni and I have to become a no-mic streamer, I would be, like, fine with that. But it's like, it'd be far from ideal, you know? I'm probably gonna be done this before the school year is over, if I had to guess, with the level I'm playing at. But minus infinity, no one knows. Probably by the time I get minus infinity, my roommates are kinda gonna, like, know what they're in for. World where my roommate, like, just, like, bites the bullet and then, like, actually gets into no-hits, and then and then, like, they just get to my skill level faster than I did or something. That would be a really funny hypothetical, but it's not fucking happening. Side note, if Dual Override drops when I'm, like... Top 100 Celeste player. It's feasible. I was like lurking in the TGM Discord a couple weeks back, and I got jump scared by like one of the best Tetris players of all time mentioning that like she like goes to the same uni as my sister does, and it was like one of the two schools I was eyeing up. It would be so funny. It would be so funny if it was a fucking, like, problematic skill gap roommate ship. The person I room with just has fucking, like, Mag Mammal 3 Celestial Woman no-hit or some shit. and I just have to tank that. I mean, that kind of is the current relationship, but, like, she just doesn't play the games. I don't think she's ever played them, like, at all. It is a good name for As-ong. Or I guess As-ong, as the case may be. That's kind of awesome, honestly. I wonder what, like, the most, like, defining, like, trait of my typing is. There's a lot that are, like, very, like, distinct, but I don't know what, like, the big one is. It's probably just, like, randomly capitalizing words or phrases. Originally, it just started with, like, very specific stuff that I would capitalize. Word choice can count if it's not just, like, a stock phrase. That I say a lot. I mean, like, ideally just, like, typing stuff, but, like, that's most of how I communicate with you all, so, like, you know. I forgot this was on this album. Why did I think it was on the second one, or the first one? I haven't listened to Citrus in so fucking long. I need to. It's like a genuinely Citrus by these guys is like a top 10 album of all time for me. Yeah, I mostly just joined it to like lurk. I mostly just joined it to, like, see what the progress on, like, the TGM doc was, and now I just lurk the, analytics the thread for it. There was a really funny interaction in that thread. Like, I actually typed something in that thread for, like, the first time, when part 3 came out of the doc. Just to be like, yeah, me and a friend were, like, kind of just freaking out that part 3 came out. And then the guy who was making the doc was just like, yeah, I, like, background check everyone who joins the thread for Mega Man stuff, it's cool. And I was just like, what? What does Debian know about Rockman 2 Basic Master 1.2? What does he know? What do you know about this? I posted it in a group chat when it happened. Honestly, maybe there's a world where, like, when I'm in uni, I just become, like, a montage demon. Like, not really in a situation where I can properly stream that often, but, like, if I just want to play Mega Man for the day, I just, like, try and grind montage clips. I've actually gotten, like, decent-ish at TGM. Like, I've gotten a lot, I've been playing it a lot, just, like, to kill time, as, like, an I want to play something game. But, like, I don't know what I want to play, I'll just, like, boot up TGM 4. And I've actually gotten, like, decent-ish at it. I'm starting to, like, get the hang of, like, how to, like, properly stack on 20G. I got to, like, 500 on Asuka on standard type? Which, like, isn't that big in the grand scheme of things, but, like, it's, like, still, it's, like, probably the hardest thing I've done in any TGM mode. Asuka is basically, it kind of works like, the start of it kind of works like TA Death in 2. But you have to clear Tetris to get past every, you have to, like, Tetris or all clear in order to get past every set of 100. You don't have to have the, like, the line, like, the level transition clear via Tetris, you just have to get a Tetris somewhere in there. And then, ideally you want to get past level 1000 in under 7 minutes. but like I'm not anywhere near good enough to even survive for 7 minutes on that mode, so that just doesn't apply to me. And then after 1000, it's just full invisible, I think. Four is probably my most played one now, and then 1 and 2 are after. 20G on, like, 2... Like, trying to play TA Death on 2 fucks with me a lot. Just because 20G without floor kicks is really hard. Death on 2 is really good at getting me to actually use IRS. That's like probably that's probably the most valuable skill I learned from playing the older ones. I'm like S3 on 1, and I haven't played Master Mode in 2 enough to remember what I am up. I got past level 100 once on TA Death, and I was proud of that. There's like a mode in 4 that simulates death. Back. There's a mode in 4 that simulates death, but with the like 5-piece previews and a hold button, and I've gotten to like 300 on that. Up. But also 2GM4 ARS is more lenient than taps. Back. I've gotten to 400 a couple times, but I haven't gotten to 500 yet. I definitely am good enough for it, I just haven't put in the time since this 2GM level up. Down. I think my short-term goal for 1 is S5. The S3 one I got was like stupidly efficient. I think I had S1 even before like 200 somehow. Like it wasn't even my line PB, not even close. I don't think I like died super early into 400. My best survival is like somewhere in the 430 to 460 range, I think. I do wonder how long my next ROM hack grind is going to take me. The next one I'm planning after this that's actually a ROM hack and not a vanilla game is probably going to be a lot easier than this. I don't see that one taking more than like 50 hours if I'm like not as good as I think I am, and also the hack is harder than I think it is. Realistically, I'm thinking like 40 hours for that, probably? Clearly I should get, like, Dragon deep enough in this shit on Mega Man hack so that I can actually do a Mega Man hack no-hit gambits. He's, like, come over here a couple times. It's not entirely infeasible. Gambiting Rockman Claw 3 for VIP and getting like a 30-hour estimate for it. I don't even think I've beaten Claw 3 casually, actually. Fair enough, Evil Headache. Way, Evil Headache, thanks for the good luck, bye. It's true. Dude, the first time I saw him on SJ Beginner, like, I saw his title had, like, new grind in it, so I'm like, what's he doing? And then I saw him playing SJ Beginner, and I was like, is there gonna be a fucking 20-ton meteor when I look out my window or something? Like, is this the end of everything? Is the world about to end? It's fucking surreal. What the hell is a cactus doing in, like, Alaska? The hell is a cactus? I think it's something that you jump into. When I have my inevitable meter review up, we should all, like, jump into cactuses. Ignore that there's, like, no... I don't think I've ever seen a cactus in person. Yeah, it's a good emote. I found it from the Coney stream. Sometimes you just gotta give a chatter the cactus, you know? It's always, like, really funny whenever, like, he just, like, saw someone in chat with, like, a very shitty take, and he's like, hell no, everyone give that chatter the cactus right now. There's also the vat of acid, which is of a similar ilk. I don't even know if I have vat of acid. I don't think I need it necessarily, but it's just a good emote and I like it. Oh. I don't think I've messed up that screen in a while. How funny would it be if I have a godlike Wily 5 warm up and then I don't get to Wily 5? That would be such a funny way for the session to play out. I do think I'm starting to get to a point where I might just start considering going back to attempt from start. That's fucked up. This cat has no sense of good or evil. This cat acts purely in its own self-interest. Not out of malice, but out of lack of understanding of any other possibility. Awesome. I just have like a letter opener on my desk for some reason. And like this like cup of like pens and pencils and whatnot. That's probably if I were in this situation, that would be the method for me. Yeah, I've seen 2GM1 versus mode. It's quite silly. Oh, you could just do that. You don't even have to kill it. Also, you could just, like, walk over that guy. Death block. What if there was, like, what if you were, like, playing a fucking... What if you were playing a versus Tetris game and the opponent just got the block that doubles in size every piece dropped? Singular Mito that doubles in size every day. I need to listen to this full tape at some point. I need to, like, make a list of albums where I've heard, like, down. I need to make a list of, like, albums where I've heard one song from them, and I like that song a lot, but I haven't heard the full album. But, like, I want to. Up. Back. Down. Hey, the only Mac Miller project that I've heard in full up is fucking Kids. Because, like, around when Balloonerism was out, I was like, I've heard Balloonerism is good, but I know that it's, like, probably not the best, like, jumping in point. So I just asked what that was, and, people said Kids was, like, your best jumping in point. And I haven't heard any of his other work. That doubles in size when they place a piece and halves in size when you place a piece. This changes the game. This is what I think Under Night Birth is like. I haven't played Uni, but this is just what I imagine the grid system is like. I have played a bit of BlazBlue though. BlazBlue is fun, but I haven't played it in a bit. I bought it, like, during the Steam Winter Sale. And then I played it a lot for a couple days, and I haven't really touched it. I think I like it the most of the anime fighters I've played. It's between it and Plus R. I prefer BlazBlue's, like, I'm trying to remember what I, like, set it out at. It reminded me a lot of Rivals, honestly, and just how, like, gimmick central every character was. Like, every character just has some degree of, like, gimmicky bullshit, parentheses, endearing. In BlazBlue. And it has, like, an almost 40 character roster, so that's a lot of gimmicky bullshit. But it's gimmicky bullshit that actually looks interesting to learn. Like, it's the first game in a minute where I've had, like, a genuine interest in learning multiple characters. Right now I play Makoto, but there's a couple other characters in it that look cool to actually play. Tsubaki seems cool. Maybe I'll learn Rockman one day. Maybe I'll, like, learn Mai someday. Lychee, I, like, fucking love Lychee's design, but I don't know if I would actually fuck with playing her, but I'm willing to give her a chance. Good song, Holy. I haven't listened to this album in way too long. I was, like, spamming this late 2023 into 2024. Like, this whole album. Oh, it's midnight now. Yeah, 20G is just... 20G just makes your stack really goofy looking. Like, almost inevitably. Especially in the older games where you only have a One Piece preview. So it's like, fuck you, old block. Figure it out. I wonder if there's a more efficient way to shoot Mega Drain. There probably is, I just don't feel like learning the risk. Also, that's a very weird way to mess up Mega Drain. I don't think I've ever messed it up to shooting too early. What if this session is just like not getting to Wily 5 and then the last attempt gets to Wily 5 and then I fluke Wily 6? And I just have a 2-segment? I'm huffing Copium right now. Because if I don't get to Wily 5 this session, it's just pure rage bait. Like, it's not that it's particularly egregious not to get here by now, it's just the fact that I'm at a point where almost all of my Wily attempts are getting somewhere deep. And, like, the past couple sessions I've been able to completely farm Wily 5 entries. Like, usually I would have multiple by this point in a session. Because I've just gotten completely insane at 1 to 4. But it just takes a while to do attempts. So sometimes you're just in, like, a dry spell. That's not even that long, mind you. I think I've had, like, 2 attempts past Wily 1 this session. Like, after warming up. But it just feels way more egregious than it actually is. Like, almost any death that isn't to, like, 1 attack on base is going to inherently feel at least a little stupid at this point. I love how for some reason the album art for this album on Spotify is just absurdly, like, low quality for no reason. Like, it looks fine on the mini player because the mini player is so small, but like, if you're seeing it at size, it looks completely, like, pixelated beyond belief. Side note, I really gotta listen to more rap from, like, outside English-speaking countries. Honestly, just outside, like, outside North America, really. I gotta tap into French rap, I gotta tap into Latin American rap, I gotta tap into, like, Turkish rap and all that. There's just so many, like, areas with interesting rap scenes that I just haven't really given the time of day. Japanese rap, I generally feel like at least a bit weird about. Mostly just because, like, a lot of them are, like, the thing with rap is that even in countries where it's, like, popular that don't have, like, the same, like, I guess, racial dynamics as the US, it's still, like, largely people who are, like, disadvantaged in that area, but in Japan, like, a lot of it is not really, back. Like, I'm kind of going off memory, but I'm pretty sure I remember reading something about, like, rap in Japan not really being as much of the little guy, like, getting his voice out there down thing. Like, just kind of, like, going off of, like, the vibes of, like, old school rap, but not really, like, as much trying to, I'm trying to think of how to, like, frame this without making it sound, like, overly derogatory, I guess. They're kind of, I think the vibe that I got was that they were kind of just, like, doing it because it, like, seemed fun to do it back, largely. Not that there's anything wrong with that inherently. And also, like, I think I also read that they're, like, aping the style, like, the delivery style of, like, like, black US rappers more directly. So it's a bit, like, a weird thing. Like, obviously there is still, like, value to it, but it's just, from what I've read, it's just kind of a bit odder than other, like, regional, like, rap scenes. Like, I mean, I still like what I've heard, which admittedly isn't much. It's like this album and then fucking Amazing Miyamushi. And then, what's the name of the group that did the Don opening? Mixed Nuts, Creepy Nuts, whatever they're called. Like, it's not like what I've heard is, like, outright bad, it's just a bit... It's just, like, reading into it. It's a bit quag. Not extremely quag, but, like, originally quag. I think I also read that they have to, like, alter the language a lot for rap to really, like, make sense fully. Because it's extremely easy to, like, come up with raps in, or, like, come up with rhymes in Japanese just because of the way that the language works. It only has, like, 5 vowel sounds, and also basically every verb ends in an oo sound in, like, its default form. And in a lot of, like, the auxiliary forms, even. So it's kind of trivial to, like, actually just, like, make rhyming lyrics. Like, a lot of Japanese songs don't even care about rhyming as much. Because, like, the nature of the language kind of doesn't make it feel, like, particularly, like, poetic or anything. But, like, in Japanese, like, for Japanese rap, where, like, rhyming is, like, a very big part of the genre, like, regardless of language, almost. They kind of have... I think I read that they have to, like, change a lot of how the language works for rhyming to, fully, like, be impressive, I guess. I think Also, like, in terms of, like, East Asia rap, I've heard a lot more about, like, Korea's rap scene than I have Japan's. Like, I've heard Korean rap is actually, like, pretty solid. I've heard, like, 2 Korean rap songs, though, they're both because of Mania. They're both, like, solid songs. They're not, like, I would, like... Actually, 3. I've heard Acquaintance, I've heard Goddess Today, and I've heard Fly. Fly is Korean, right? I'm like... Yeah, Fly is Korean. I had to, like, run it through in my mind. I haven't heard the song in years, so I couldn't just, like, go off my memory of the lyrics. Studio version, rare roll. I wonder how tight it is to, like, shoot all 4 of those Mega Dragon pellets. Yeah, that's a big thing. Later games, it's easier to do that because of multiple preview pieces. I almost got hit by that scientific toss because I was not looking at the screen predominantly. My eyes zoned out there for a second, and I was like, huh? Yeah, it's easier to, like, plan it in advance on 3 and 4 because they have more than one preview piece. 3 has, I think, 3, and 4 has 5. But that reminds me, the final, like, difficulty increase of Shirase is so evil. Like, once you get to level 1000 on Shirase in 3, the blocks are all, like, the same color. The blocks are all, the color of, the blocks in the original Tetris. Like, the original 1985 PC version. So you can't just use the color of the blocks in your peripheral vision. You can't just use that to tell what block it is. You have to actually make out the shape of the block. Which is insane. Because for, like... That's, like, one of the first things you learn when you try to get good at Tetris. Use the color of the blocks in your peripheral vision to tell what blocks you have up next, and use that to, like, plan ahead. So, like, having to adjust to that at speed is insane. That honestly seems, like, crazier to me than, like, even, like, the invisible, like, credits roll into. That's probably just a my playstyle thing, but, like, it seems so evil. It's so insane how hard 3 is even, like, 20 years after it came out for a commercially released game. Like, TGM 3 is definitely one of the hardest, like, commercially released games ever. I think that's, like, without question. It is! It's so cool to see a game that's, like, still insanely hard for people 20 years after it came out that has no user content. Like, TGM 4 took, like, I think 9-ish months for someone to get the highest rank on Master Mode, and that's after like 30 years of... That's like after almost 30 years of TGM existing. And like 20 years after TGM 3 came out. I think it took like a year for the first TGM 3 GM. Like a year or two. I think it might have been 2 years actually. It was either... I think it was 07 that the first TGM 3 GM happened. And first Western wasn't until like 15. God, I love rewatch. God. Kevin's reaction to getting first Western GM is still, like, so heartwarming. The craziest thing is, this is kind of spoilers for the TGM doc, if that matters to you, but, like, the craziest thing is that he got, like, a GM, he got, like, a GM qualifying test in, like, 2011. I think, anyway. I'm pretty sure it was 2011 that he got one. Basically, there's this one YouTuber named Demonim who's been making a documentary about the TGM series, both the player base and the actual development and like licensing of the games and whatnot. He just now got up to like 2015. Oh, document, yeah. Yeah. It's so good. That didn't shoot? That didn't shoot to the shield? Sure. Rage bait. But like, yeah. I am so happy that something like the TGM doc exists. It's so fucking, like, good to see something like that exist. I've wanted, like, a good challenge gaming documentary about something that isn't Geometry Dash for so long, and that's, like, the best thing in that scene that I've seen by a mile. No one else is doing it like that. Absolutely no one else. Every single part release is like a drop everything and watch it immediately thing for me. Yeah, speedrunning like completely like dog wallets challenge gaming in terms of like video quality. Before this, the only thing I could say that was, like, of, like, a satisfactory-ish quality was, like, some, like, higher-end Genie stuff. And, Peachel's Run and Button, like, Peachel's Run and Button Emerald kinds of videos. If you count, like, Nuzlocke as challenge gaming, which I think is fair, even though it's, like, a very different skill set than most challenge games. Peachel Run and Bun video is in the running for best video on the entire site, honestly. I say this a lot, but, like, I genuinely think that, like, it's so insane to me that he got Origami Angel to do the, he got Origami Angel to do the intro song for the Run and Bun video, and the song they did for it was genuinely better than like 80% of their last album. Like, if that song was on their last album, it would be like top 3 on the album. The main one I have in mind is Samifying Silent Club Step Doc. That like completely walks like any other GD docs. I do hope that when I work on the 90 doc, it's gonna actually be something that I can, like, be proud of long term. Instead of just kind of being, like, I work on it for so long, and then by the end I'm like, this sucks. I don't think it's gonna be like that, but I just hope it's not. I can live with, like, I could have done this part better, but I don't want to, like, be like, this whole thing is, like, garbage. After, like, 2 years of it being finished. Yeah. Theirs are solid as well. Lorkbork also had some decent ones, from what I remember. Yeah, the 8 Jumps of Hell video. I think Silent Club stuff just has the most juice of any verification ever for, like, documentaries. Yeah, the 90 doc is gonna be, like, I really hope that the 90 doc is, like, creatively fulfilling for me. I don't doubt that it will be, like, just based on, based on parts of it that I've, like, mapped out in my head how they're gonna play out. Like, I don't want that to just feel like just another like, video game accomplishment doc. That's just like a Polygon Donut video premise, I feel like. 3 years for that? Up. Yeah, that checks out. Honestly, I think the main thing that I'm, like, worried about 90 doc-wise is, like, mostly, like, script stuff. I'm worried that, like, when I look back at the script when I'm, like, older and have more writing experience, I'm gonna be like, this is mega ass. But also, like, I feel like my toxic trait when I watch other, like, YouTube, like, video game docs is that I see I, like, listen to other people's, like, scripts as they're reading it out, and I'm just like, I could have written this sentence way better than you could have. That's, like, my #1 toxic trait. But it's, like, a lot harder when you're the one in the driver's seat. I think I've talked about this before, but, like, a lot of them are, like, made by people who are, like, passionate about the thing that's being, like, discussed. And, like, the documentary is just kind of, like, a means to an end for discussing it. But, like, either their, like, script writing voice or their actual script reading voice is, like, not really fully built for it, I guess. Not in, like, a they sound annoying way, it's just, like, you can tell they're, like, new to this, and, like, you know. Like, a lot of these are being made by, like, young people, so, like, not that much, it's nice to see, but it kind of just, like, it's endearing to some extent, but also sometimes I'm just kind of sitting here, like, I feel like there could have been more juice to this. I think sometimes it's in, like, a weird, like, gray area, because they're, like, writing it for, like, a hypothetical audience that doesn't know the game like that. But also the only people who are gonna see it are people who know the game like that. So it's just kind of, like, at odds with itself a bit. Like, I'm not asking for, like, a John Boyce here script or anything, but, like... Some of them just kind of leave a bit to be desired, I guess. Not naming names, it's just kind of, like, a general, like, pattern, I guess. And, like, I am deeply autistic about challenge gaming, so I just wish there was more stuff that, like... I think I'm just picky with, like, scripts and whatnot. Or just picky with, like, YouTube videos in general. I wonder how tight it is to shoot all 4 of those. I think I've said this before, but, like... Feels like it might honestly be, like... It feels like an extremely tight frame window. Like a series of frame windows to hit. Or maybe it's not like a frame window thing, but it's just like an inputting hit right thing. But, like, yeah. I think it's just, like, wishing that there was more, like, more stuff that I could, like, show to someone who doesn't really know the game and they would be invested. Like, not that they're, like, horrible videos or anything, it's just kind of, like... For you to, like, care about the story, I feel like you would already have to be invested in the scene and, like, know the story beforehand. Smash is really good with this, honestly. Like, ever since GR Trash 4 pivoted to doing, like, documentary-style stuff, he's been doing, like, a really good job with it. Awesome Sauce has also obviously been doing a good job with this. I feel like Melee is just extremely spoiled for talented, like, videographers and all, like... Like, I swear, like, Melee just has, like, one of the most, like, talented, like, scenes of care-abouters ever. Not even players, just, like, people who care about the game. Like, there's so many people in the Melee scene who are just able to write, like, an incredible script or, like, edit insanely well. Not that other scenes don't have those, but it's like... God, I think I just got spoiled by, like, how good Melee content is. Also, this is reminding me that I have, like, a running, like, Google Doc of, like, stuff that I want to either, like, watch or read or whatnot to, like, kind of inform how I write the 90 doc. Like, outside of just, like, other challenge gaming stuff. Like, it's a lot of, like, sports docs that I haven't seen. We should make challenge gaming with programming. I think this is just Code Wars. To some extent, anyway. Yeah, this is just like Code War. This is just like Kaizo Code Wars. Alright, this has gotta be like last attempt. Frustrating session, but I have to end it now because of how late it is. God, that's really fucking frustrating. Insanely good warm-up, and then I don't get anywhere, and then I get 2 out of 5 entries, and I get to Tornado. And I fuck up Tornado till 2 stupid things. Not ideal, but is what it is. What it is. Nice, it's the wrong Firefox window that it's capturing. Why did it capture the chat window? Okay, let me do shoot stuff. 220. That warm-up is a very good, like, sign of confidence, though. Even if everything else about the session was just like, let's waste as much time as possible. Just stay. Yeah. I do think it's gonna. I do think that spamming Full Fortress this much is gonna mean that when I get back on like attempt from start, that I'm just gonna like ball the fuck out. I'll see if there's anybody in the Mega Man categories. If not, I don't really like know anyone here well enough to like justify rating. Nothing really like jumping out at me. Is there anybody not playing Mega Man in my follow list that I would feel comfy rating? I could rate Sakura Count, but Sakura Count is just like a guy. You're like watching Sakura Count to watch him play the game. I'm not really here to like. It's like rating Sakura Count just feels a bit like odd, I guess. All right. Good start of a session, and like still getting runs like this and not that long of a session is a good thing. But That doesn't change the fact that this session was complete rage bait, and I hope I actually get somewhere next sesh. I think the second tornado fight, I just like messed up my strat like as an execution thing. It's not like a bad strat. I just think I just messed it up, and then because in like a way that's not immediately fatal, but it just made like the next situation like it made the second dive bomb in like a weird area. And then the first time I just thought I was going to kill the boss, but I didn't, and I like jumped in the air for no reason because I thought I was gonna kill the boss, and I was gonna be like, oh, I jump in the air, and then I like instantly hit terminal velocity when the thing is there. I just like fell down to this